Hi everybody, you're watching Richard's Reptiles. In today's video I'm going to be teaching you how I feed my crested geckos and also other tips of how they feed in the wild, so enjoy. So firstly, to start with, crested geckos like Trico here, in the wild will eat a variety of fruit, insects and nectar, and they are the main three things that crested geckos will eat. In captivity, crested geckos will mainly eat a prepared diet, such as Pangea or Apache. I have Pangea here. It comes as a powder and it's basically a mixture of fruit, insects, nectar. And what you want to do is you want to mix that with water and it will turn out looking like a paste. Yeah, it will look like that when it's prepared, and yeah. Now, the second thing that crested geckos mostly eat in captivity are live insects. I have crickets here, and they are the only insect feeders that my geckos will eat. I tried them with mealworms, waxworms, morio worms, and silkworms, and they're the only ones that they'll eat. But you can feed those other feeders to your crested gecko as well. I'm just trying to say mine don't like them, but I would again try and recommend a variety of insect feeders, as well as with the Pangea. You want to have a couple different flavours, mix them up sometimes, and yeah. So this is what they eat. With the crickets, you can either throw them in the enclosure, just leave them in the enclosure for the geckos to hunt, or you can use tongs and tongue feed them. It's really up to you, and I'd recommend doing both, so your gecko cat has the enrichment to hunt it by themselves and can get used to you, and you can have almost like a bond with your gecko, not being scared to take food from the tweezers. So I think that's pretty cool. So I do both with my two geckos, Trico and Charlie. Now we're going to go over how to prepare your crested gecko diet. So I've opened the bag, and inside you can see it's a powder. What you want to do is get a spoon, just pour it into your dish, into your gecko's dish, and add water, mix it up until it looks like a paste, sort of like that. Or you can do what I do. I use this squirt bottle. You just put the powder in, pour some water in, shake it up, and it lasts like a week in the fridge. And you just want to put like a few things over the top and then put it in a freezer bag. And even if you can get like these squirt bottles which have a cap that you can put on the top, that's even better. Just keep it in the fridge, leave it to cool down a bit before you pour it into your gecko's dish. I use this because I have multiple geckos. I used to just pour the powder in the dish and mix it up with the water manually, but this works better as I have two geckos. So yeah, it works really well. You can see it all at the bottom there, but basically it's really easy to make. And yeah. So monthly I recommend giving your crested gecko fresh fruit. It's not necessary, but there's nothing wrong with it, giving them real fruit instead of the powdered or dried fruit in the Pangea bags. But anyway, I think it's good. The ones I've used are mango, banana, strawberry and grape. All of those are safe. You can use other fruits. I'd recommend checking on a few different websites to see if it's safe, and then you know if it's safe before you feed it to your crested gecko. But other than that, I'd only do it as a treat, only monthly. So now we've gone over how to prepare your Pangea or Apache. We're going to go over how to prepare the crickets or whatever insect feeders you feed to your crested gecko. So the most important thing is your calcium powder. Now you don't need this all the time because the Pangea or Pashi does give them all the vitamins they need. So I wouldn't say dust it every time, but basically with your insect feeders, you want to put them in a container with calcium powder. Put the insects in there, make sure that they have calcium powder on them, and then place the crickets in the enclosure, or you can grab them with the feeding tongs, lightly grab them and then try and feed it to your crested gecko. And that's about as easy as it gets as far as doing this. It's really simple. Probably the hardest thing is trying to catch the crickets without them escaping. Now we've gone over what and how to feed your crested gecko. I'm going to show you when to feed your crested gecko. So it really depends like what age your crested gecko is to know when to feed it. So Trico here is 3 years old, so she's an adult. So I feed her Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So on Tuesday and Saturday she gets Pangea, and on Thursday she gets about 4 to 5 crickets. She gets about this much Pangea on Tuesday and Saturday. The same with any gecko like around a year and a half old and after, they're fine with that sort of schedule. Babies, you want to feed them every day. Try and feed them possibly as much as you can. Feed them insects, a lot of insects to help them grow quicker. Feed them a lot of Pangea, try and hand feed it, put it on their nose and hope that they lick it off. So babies, you got to feed them a lot. But with adults, as I said, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Juveniles, you can start by doing like every other day or feeding less and phase it out until it goes around 3 times a week, and that's what I do with my adults. So I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.